So for me, a key element to build this strong relationship is communication, having a very solid communication. Whenever we start growing and having a huge amount of clients, we forget to follow up and we forget to keep nurturing this relationship because it becomes very hard.
Welcome to the All in Recruitment podcast by Manatal, where we explore best practices, learnings, and trends with leaders in the recruitment space. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channels on YouTube and Spotify. Stay tuned for our weekly episodes. I'm your host, Lydia, and with us today is Maria Molina, the founder of Antares HR, all the way from Mexico City. Thank you for joining us, Maria.
It's a pleasure to be here, Lydia.
So, Maria, what's the story behind Antares HR?
Well, I spent almost 10 years working in talent acquisition roles in different companies, and I had the chance to learn some of the greatest and best practices in recruiting. And therefore, Antares HR was born. I wanted to share that with other companies and basically make a better recruitment experience for everyone.
And Antares HR employs a personalized approach, right? And so
yes.
Walk us through that personalized approach to matching the ideal candidate with the perfect role. So how do you go beyond qualifications and even the skills to make sure that this candidate is a good cultural fit or cultural add and has long-term potential?
Of course. Well, our aim is to provide a customized approach and to understand each client, each business needs. And to that, it's not just about assessing the right skill set, but also understanding the right cultural fit. So for us, it's very important to have information about the candidate's qualifications, aspirations, and strengths, and see how that matches with the ideal role and see if there is a long-term fit. For that, we also we really like to have a transparent communication with both sides to align expectations and be sure that we will diminish potential barriers.
And starting a recruitment agency, especially in this economic climate, can be quite complex, or maybe there might be some additional factors to think about. So what are some factors that you've considered when you started your recruitment agency?
There are several things you need to consider when it comes to launch a new recruitment agency. You need to take into consideration the local market trends and focus on an industry that have growth potential. It's important to leverage on technology to make sure that you have a seamless process and therefore you have a good candidate experience. And I'll say it's very important to keep nurturing your network. Therefore, you need to go to industry events and commit to engage with special communities to make sure to stay up to date with the industry trends and connected with subject matter experts. I'll also say, as a recruiter, you need to be constantly updating yourself and learning from new trends and new important topics in the market.
And what do you specialize in? What kind of hiring do you specialize in?
Well, I specialize in middle to top recruitment, executive recruitment, but I also have experience in hiring at entry-level roles and C-levels, which is a little bit, it's not my main expertise, but I cover the whole aspect.
And executive hiring, often requires a very deep understanding of both, the industry and the needs or unique needs of the executives, right? So how did you develop that kind of expertise to effectively identify and even assess executive talent?
Yes. Again, as I said, it's very important to build strong communication and strong relationship with both your clients and your candidates. And to that, you will gather relevant information to make sure that the candidate is the right fit for the role and vice versa. So it's important to stay up to date on these, the market trends, to review and assess your or review your assessment procedures. Seek for feedback. Be very curious when it comes to learning from past experiences, your win, your losses, and update your process. But also, it's an ongoing learning process.
And especially now in this market, right? In today's competitive market, what differentiates a successful recruitment agency from others?
The type of relationship that you build with your candidates and your clients. Again, it sounds very repetitive, but I think it comes to build a solid foundation and solid relationship with them to gain trust and confidence on the process. It's very important. Something that I realized at the beginning of my career when I was at a headhunter as well is that sometimes as a recruiting agency, you don't get a deep knowledge or like a deep understanding of the business, what the business is doing. Even though even if you specialize on a specific industry, it's important to understand the culture, the inner personality, where the company is going, like what's the present moment of that company. Is not the same to like be working on a startup that in a big corporate environment. And it's also understanding to match the candidate's needs. So when it comes to executive recruitment, it's harder because like these folks have experience already. So they have a very clear goal in terms of what they expect for their career to be. So you need to like be very transparent with them, gather as much information as possible, and make sure that they are the right fit for the company, and the other way around, that companies will offer them the like potential growth and evolution that they're seeking for.
You mentioned relationships, right? Building that relationships,
yes.
Nurturing those relationships, especially in C-level hiring or executive hiring. How do you go about doing that? Do you have any examples of how you might nurture a relationship like that? And how long would it take, and what goes into that?
Well, as an organizational psychologist, for me, it's very important to build rapport since the beginning. You need to build trust and confidence with the other person and make them sure that you are there to help them. I mean, to help them to succeed. And it's both with clients and with clients and candidates. So for me, a key element to build this strong relationship is communication, having a very solid communication. Whenever we start growing and having a huge amount of clients, we forget to follow up and we forget to keep nurturing this relationship because it becomes very hard. I think that I am convinced that we need to keep nurturing and put a strong emphasis on that. That's why ATS or other technologies helps you, because you get reminders and you have all these database information where it will provide you with notifications on follow-ups and next steps. It's very, very important to maintain this close relationship with them at every step of the process, because again, things can change in the company, things can change on a candidate side as well. And the best way to diminish these potential barriers or issues is if you stay close to them, as close as possible. There are different tools, there are so many, from email to any other type of direct or immediate messages that facilitate this type of communication. So I really think us as recruiters, we need to more than try to just fill in roles, is creating a bonding and a long-term commitment with both parties.
So in terms of candidates, passive candidates, for example, how in terms of the communication and frequency, how much is too much in terms of keeping in touch, or too frequent, you'd say?
It depends on each person. What I like to do is that I ask them on an open question. I make them know that I really like their profile for a potential future role, and I ask them how comfortable would they feel if I reach out in, let's say, 1 month? Or maybe I ask them, okay, feel free to reach me out whenever you are looking for potential new opportunities. It's a two sides role. This is not like just one size fits all. You really need to understand what the candidates are expecting or what they feel comfortable with.
You also mentioned how ATS can help you remind yourself of when you need to keep in touch. So technology, as we're seeing it today, it's evolving so rapidly. The time between every technological change is getting shorter and shorter, and it plays a very crucial role in today's recruitment process. So how do you, maybe some examples of how you leverage technology and data specifically to make that recruitment experience better for both your candidates, also for your clients?
Yeah, I think technology nowadays is so important, especially when it comes to build a streamlined process and a great candidate experience. How I use it, I think an ATS is fundamental in any recruiting process if you want to have all your the end-to-end process organized, like from the review of the CVs, of the resumes, and then the screenings. I like it that ATS have each step of the process and you can adjust it according to your needs. So it's very important to have a control over your processes and know where each candidate lands. Because sometimes you will have, 500 applications and maybe 100 potential candidates. So be very organized and well structured with that will help you to give you more visibility and accelerate this recruitment process. And lastly, one of the most important pieces nowadays is data. ATS helps you provide you with insights and relevant data, data analytics that will help you change or update your process. Understanding metrics such as time to hire, candidate offers accepted, candidate where does candidate comes from, and see if your current recruitment process is effective or not. Those type of analytics have allowed me in the past to understand what are the main problems, to solve them and make it more efficient, make the process more efficient. And also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, but another very important thing is candidate experience. Normally, candidates complain about not receiving any type of feedback or not hearing about recruiters
ghosted
in a while. Yeah, exactly. I've been ghosted, and this company is so bad because of the recruitment process. I think an ATS is the best way of keeping everyone in touch, like all the interviewers and also the candidates, aware of what part of the process they are landing, and also receiving feedback. It's very easy to automate a lot of responses at the same time, which will also help you make more efficient your processes.
In terms of your clients, how do you mentioned earlier also that having great communication between yourself and also the client and also with the candidate, goes a long way, right? So how do you balance the needs of a candidate with those of your clients?
Well, that can be complicated again, because both have different agendas. So as recruiters, we are the liaison between both parts, and we are the ones in charge of managing expectations. So I'll start with a strong, active listening of both parties, and then finding a common ground point for both. I mean, there has to be something that interests both parties, and then from that, starting and see where they can giving up is not the word, but where they can be more flexible, maybe. And that start whenever you start gaining your attention from candidates in the and when you tell them about the experience, the long-term potential that a role has, the career path that it will find in the company, the type of culture, the team they will be working with, they can start being more flexible. But again, it's a matter of have a strong and active listening and just like understanding what they are expecting, what are their needs, what's important for them, and see how their role can match those expectations and needs.
You're an organizational psychologist, Maria, right? So what trends or changes do you foresee in the field of executive recruitment or even HR in general?
Yes. I anticipate a greater focus on psychological well-being and work-life balance. With remote work becoming more prevalent, organization needs to maintain a strong focus on work culture, remote work culture, and managing teams effectively. So I'll say that part is very important, but also maintaining a healthy balance between work-life balance. Because when we went to the office before the pandemic, folks could stay there for 10 to 12 hours a day, and now realizing that they can spend time with their families and they can do sports and prioritize on their well-being, things have shifted. So it's very important to find this balance, and employers needs to understand that work is as important as personal life is, and find this sweet spot for both parties. I'll say companies are also shifting their focus on a more humanized approach, where they're investing in helping their employees to develop strengths like stress management, emotional balance, and mindfulness. I've seen companies investing a lot of money in those types of wellness retirements, or yoga lessons, or again, mindfulness sessions that will help them to cope better with the day-to-day stress. And finally, I'll say there will be a huge, they'll keep a strong focus on diversity, equity, and inclusions. And it's very important to keep educating interviewers and help them to take hiring decisions free from bias.
Trust and confidentiality are both critical factors when you deal with executive level positions, right? So how do you maintain confidentiality, and how do you make sure that there's a high level of discretion throughout that recruitment process? Do you have any measures in place to protect sensitive information?
Yeah, confidentiality is very important in our recruitment process. We understand that we are managing sensitive data, like private information. So when it comes to specific processes, we make candidates and other participants or other involved parties to sign DNAs. And of course, our team is training best practices for maintaining discretion through the process.
And on that note, there also, as you spoke at length, the benefits of having an ATS, the benefits of having technology to your advantage. I think that is definitely by default. You need to have these things inside a recruitment agency, and there are plenty of tools out there to automate hiring, right? And so, how might technology like an ATS help to make sure that your hiring practices are efficient and effective and bringing the results that you anticipate?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, ATS provides you with insights and relevant data analytics.
Data, yeah.
So that's the best way to compare quarter to quarter, where what are your main pain points? Where are you suffering? Where candidates are landing or spending more time in each process, and how you can make that process more efficient. Understanding whether your recruiting process is helping you, is bringing you the type of candidates that you're expecting to see, and whether interviewers are asking the specific questions they're meant to be asking. So again, an ATS helps you to organize, streamline the process, to make it seamless again, and a great experience for everyone. I think we really need to leverage on data and make consistent reviews quarter per quarter to understand, and on doing your quarter business reviews to understand what is happening, what went well, what didn't, and how you can adjust.
Yeah, these are things that we will see as we go into, in the last 10 years have given us so much exposure to what technology can do to improve that hiring process. And furthermore, you're also seeing AI coming into play, and you're also seeing chatbots like ChatGPT that they're just further it's even bigger than we thought right now, right? So the process itself becomes far more simplified, automated, and then there's more time to think about that personalized approach as well. So, Maria, on that note, what advice would you give someone who's starting out in talent acquisition today versus, maybe 10 years ago?
Well, I'll say it's important to stay very adaptable, very resilient, and very open to technology. Because today technology is a great ally to every person that works in talent acquisition or HR industry. You really need to leverage. It's important to learn how to leverage on, again, as you were saying, AI or automation tools to make your process more simple and again gain operational efficiency. You can use AI to conduct initial screens. You can use algorithms to find the candidate matching. And you can use, there are a lot of tools that will help you go through tons of resumes, to schedule interviews, to provide you with great interview questions, up to make some specific business case or assess whether the candidate meets the specific requirements or not without being biased. So I'll say it's very important to stay updated with the new trends. Every day there are new tools, new AI specific tool, chatbots, automation tools. So
a tool for the tool and another tool for those tools, right?
I think personally I don't like the aspect of the tool for the tool. Having this tool that will schedule the interview, and then you need the other tool to send an email to the candidate. It's very overwhelming to dealing with so many tools. So I'll say stay up to date with recruiting tools. See which one fits you better and fits your needs. And ultimately, which one will help you streamline your process and make it more efficient? What you want is to get more results in less time and to have a greater experience for candidates and for clients and for your interviewers as well. Stay all connected. So I'll say that on the technology part. And again, nurture networking. For me, it's very important. Whenever you have your strong network will help you to find right candidates, understanding the market trends and see what other people is doing and how you can share best practices.
Well, thank you very much for your time, your insights, Maria, and I wish you all the best for your new agency. I'm pretty sure the audience might also want to connect with you, so do drop us your contact details.
Yes, thank you for having me, Lydia. It's been a pleasure sharing these insights. So you can find more about us at www.antareshr.com, or I'll be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. We also have presence on Instagram when we share industry trends, job openings, and company news. And at our website, we have a blog. So stay up to date, don't miss any new posts. And I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone again soon.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much. And we have been in conversation with Maria Molina, founder of Antares HR. Thank you for joining us this week. Remember to subscribe to our channels to stay tuned for more insights from All in Recruitment.